I'm really proud of that movie, and I'm so glad people are enjoying it. The directors and the animators and producers are so talented on that one. So I just feel like, man, I'm honored to be part of it. I love the character. I want to see what happens with Peter next. I was really excited, and this is no spoiler, but you see Peter going off with Gwen and starting a little
Yeah.
team. I want to see Peter kick some butt. I think it was really sweet to see him as a dad, but he is Spider-Man. You know, he's the OG. He's how we know him.
Of course.
So I'm excited to see what he does in the third installment.
I remember going to see Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Khan years ago.
Really?
When I went to go and see that, it was really long. It was so long that there was an intermission. But I thought that was really fun. That was a fun watch.
Oh, then you're aware of Shah Rukh and Kajol. How did you find the chemistry of the actors?
I mean, God, it was so long ago now. It was, yeah, I mean, it must have been like 15 years ago that I saw that. But I remember having a great time.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rujani and welcome to Speak Easy. I spoke to him last time during season 1 and clearly I seem to be the lucky charm. No hard work on their part and clearly they got a season 2 and it looks very, very interesting. Just kidding. The very, very talented Jake Johnson. Thank you so much. I should not try my hand at comedy, but I just had to do something.
I like it. I like it. Keep going. Keep going.
But no, cannot be considered enough to think I play any role. But Jake, you got a season 2. It's such a crazy character. Do you kind of are satisfied with the arc that it went through? I mean, of course, you see in season 2 as well. He's pretty much as crazy as he was. He's
Yes.
still trying to figure out what's going to happen between Joyce and him, and he's still evil but fun.
Well, personally, I don't see Doug as evil. I see
Not
Doug
evil,
as
like I mean, like evil's the wrong term. Like sort
Yes.
of, like fun
scheming.
evil.
Scheming.
Yeah,
Scheming.
exactly.
Yeah, so
scheming.
I see Doug as a capitalist, and I see Doug as somebody who really, really, really cares about bottom dollar, and he really wants his business to work. He puts a lot of his value and his ego and his sense of self in that business. So
Yeah.
it's like his child, and he's protecting his child. This is a good spin, by the way. So he is protecting his own business like it's his own child. So if anything, he's a nurturing character because he's nurturing his business. But so I think with Doug, more than anything, he just wants to win, and he's willing to do anything to win, even if it hurts people's feelings.
And also, one thing remains common. He's just making sure whenever the men are taking the clothes off, he earns money out of it. So
Yeah.
that's there.
Yes. I think
Right?
Doug sees naked bodies as dollar signs. So I don't think he ever if he sees a woman with her top off and it looks great, that those are $2 signs. And if he sees a guy with his pants off and he's got something big down there, then that's a big dollar sign.
You know what is one thing that you would have liked or would have liked to see, one aspect that you still feel hasn't come out of your character? We've seen so many things happening in season 2. But
Yeah.
if you'd like to see something, I'm sure as actors, you kind of stay so
For
much with the
sure.
characters. What are your thoughts on that, Jake?
So it's something I've been pitching Ellen since the beginning, and I want to feel more Doug's backstory. So
Exactly.
I think Doug is very well-rounded in who he is right now.
Yeah.
I think season 1, it was very clear. Season 2, he gets beat up a little bit. People start getting mad at him a little. He's got to kind of take his medicine a little. But I really feel like the thing that I'm missing about Doug that I'd love to see is, how did Doug get here? Like there's been references of his past. Does he have an ex-wife? Does he have like early love? There's a reference early about a mentor character that he had worked with when he first started selling, penny magazines. The idea of Doug's past coming back to kind of haunt him, I think would be really fun, because a lot of characters like Doug have burned a lot of bridges to get to where they are. And at times it's nice when the people can't cross that river to get you, but it's also fun when the past comes back and gets somebody. So I'd like to see something in Doug's past come back.
I mean, Mings is this in an era where Magic Mike was way cooler back then. Y'all kind of did it way early, if you can say, kind of the era that y'all made it. And it's always interesting, and I thought that it would have been fun to see a crossover of the Magic Mike Nike now, the Magic Mike team of now. And you guys, have you ever thought of like leading Hollywood men coming and doing like a fun thing? And I think particularly your character would absolutely have a ball with sort of telling them what to do and what not in just
Yeah,
the scene of it.
I really tried to get Mike Sarah to be one of the dancers.
But it's fun.
Mike Sarah is a great actor with a great little body, and he considered it. We just couldn't close his deal, but hopefully season 3, he's willing to come out and dance for us a little bit. So I hope it happens. I think the crowds would go nuts. And so, yeah, I hope that happens.
I love that. We're putting it out in the universe for you.
I'm putting it out into the universe. Mike Sarah
Yeah,
in
so-
a little banana bikini dancing Minx season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. We're there. To end it, of course, I would have to ask you, what did you think of the Spider-Verse and
Oh,
the
I
love that
loved
it's
it.
getting?
Yeah, I'm been really proud. I'm really proud of that movie, and I'm so glad people are enjoying it. The directors and the animators and producers are so talented on that one. So I just feel like, man, I'm honored to be part of it. I love the character. I want to see what happens with Peter next. I was really excited, and this is no spoiler, but you see Peter going off with Gwen and starting a little team. I want to see Peter kick some butt. I think it was really sweet to see him as a dad, but he is Spider-Man. He's the OG. He's how we know him.
Of course.
So I'm excited to see what he does in the 3rd installment.
What do
And
you
I
think of
loved it.
Indian
I also,
Spider-Man?
Karan Soni, who played the character, I was in his first movie, Safety Not Guaranteed. So I've known that young man since he just got out of college. Aubrey Plaza and I used to hang with him in Seattle when he was doing his first job. So hearing it was him and then being with him a little bit, was really full circle. He's such a talented actor. I'm really glad that, your country was represented in the movie. I also think it was really funny. I think it was really fun and just a strong addition.
Absolutely. I think it was so much fun. But thank you, Jake. You keep on doing such interesting roles and making content that people are enjoying worldwide. So thank you so much. And all the best
Thank
for
you.
Minx season 2.
Thanks so much. I also got a new movie called Self-Reliance coming out soon. So we'll hopefully be doing this soon.
Shout out to that. We are going to make sure that all of us watch it here. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today, extremely talented, and of course, is coming into the 2nd season of a show that she's extremely invested in. I'm talking about, of course, the actor of Minx, Ophelia Lovegon. Hello, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining me. It's very interesting whenever a show goes into the 2nd season, because I think you'll have to carry forward the kind of success that you attained, the kind of, the love that you've got for season 1. Did you all have that kind of pressure saying that, how do we make this bigger? Because the novelty of the first season is not there, yet you have to still build it on.
It didn't feel pressurized. The entire cast, we get on really well, all close, and remained in touch after the show, and would even saw each other in between filming outside of work. So it was the novelty. It still felt like there was novelty because it's the writing is new and the characters are doing different things, and they're in a different place. We're telling a different story, so it wasn't like, oh God, back to this again. It was a real joy to get to play those characters again and dive back into that world, and the crew, the entire crew would just everyone. We had a real blast filming it, so it every day felt like a novelty.
Amazing. Joyce is an interesting character. In the beginning, she's kind of not really comfortable in the world that she's really entering. She has belief in herself, she realizes the kind of, comfort that she has with her own, sexuality. And I think that at the end, it becomes pretty evident. The idealism sort of kind of fading, right? Because now you're kind of you're making it more commercial, which is what, you were kind of trying to strive away from. I want to know your comments on how you look at that. And as an actor as well, in the beginning, you want to do certain kind of roles, but eventually, even actors face that same kind of thing. I feel the journey that even Joyce is facing. What do you think about it?
Well, I think the show is exploring how many compromises will she make to achieve what she wants. The more she compromises, is she moving further and further away from what she originally wanted. And I think regardless of what line of work you're in, you are kind of confronted with those sorts of choices. And I think it's exploring that you see how much is she willing to relinquish to still get her message out there, because ultimately that message feels like it's getting more and more diluted. especially towards the end when she sees the kind of prospective magazine covers that are just so not what Minx is about. So, and I think ultimately she decides, I'm not willing to continue compromising on this, even if it means losing everything. I'm drawing the line. I think as an actor, you just say no if there's something you're not comfortable with, or it's something, or I mean, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't do a role if I felt if it was problematic. I just wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
worth it.
You know, because the show is so much about, of course, owning one's own sexuality, particularly for women, to recognize, you know, that we can be comfortable, you can have sexual desires, and of course the entire magazine. Do you think the gays and particularly female writers in the presence really helps to understand female sexuality? Because sometimes, you know, it can be exploitative in nature, in general, for television.
Yeah, I think if you relocate the gaze to the female gaze, women are no longer passive; they're active, and that's really important to understand that sex is not something that happens to women; like they engage in it. So, even the way things are kind of advertised or spoken about, if you just slightly shift that gaze, it can help broaden the conversation to be more inclusive. So, I think, yeah, I mean, shows like this show that there is. Obviously women can have sexual desires and have kind of agency over that, so I think it's just highlights that's pretty kind of obvious.
I'd like to end it by asking you, have you watched any you know, Indian film, the Indian actors that you're aware of? And the second part of the question is, what has been your most interesting roles that you've done till now, Ophelia, that you've certainly had a ball with?
I remember going to see Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Khan years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I went to go and see that. It was really long. It was so long that there was an intermission. But I thought that was really fun. That was a fun watch.
Oh, then you're aware of Shah Rukh and Kajol. How did you find the chemistry of the actors?
I mean, God, it was so long ago now. It must have been like 15 years ago that I saw that. But I remember having a great time at the cinema. It was very entertaining. And my favourite role that I've played, did you say? I mean, I love playing Joyce. I really do. I mean, it sounds like that's just lip service, but you know, the sets and the costumes and the music and obviously the character and playing the comedy and working with such a great cast of actors. It's you just have so much fun on set. Your cheeks aching from laughing so much. It's really genuinely one of my favorite characters I've ever played.
Wonderful chatting with you, Ophelia. Thank you so much. That's my time. But all the best for the show. It looks like so much fun. I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.